started it when he worked here. He was the second person in New York State to start the program, and he started it here before he moved on and took it with him to other schools. And he now works at UAlbany heading up the program. Anyway, he called me up and he said, by the way, Linda, what do you think about doing this for us? Which was a huge honor. And we had our first sub-regional symposium this year. And we had, I'll get to that in a minute, but they asked us to apply, which is a big kudos to our program, to our facility. You know, we are centrally located, we are beautiful, we have a great facility to host this kind of thing. And we had 300 participants, 21 schools, 68 student presentations, and 26 regional scientists as judges. There were 20 plus volunteers that came with TH staff. Quite a few of our science teachers and administrators came and helped out. Our IT department came and made sure everything was running smoothly. My students came, some honor society students came, and regional teachers all volunteered to help make it happen. And the nicest compliment I got that day was people came up to me and said, we couldn't tell that this was your first year running the program. So it went really, really well. We are going to be, as long as I can keep it going, the new host. So that'll be every year. It's going to be the weekend. It's right around exam week for Regencies in January, which makes it a little tricky. But this year I'm going to try it on that Saturday of Martin Luther King weekend. So I'm hoping that that will work. And if it does, that'll just be the weekend that we have it. So you are welcome to come. It's pseudo open to the public. You know, nobody will be kicked out, but it's really more of for the students to come and present their work. And they do bring their peers and their teachers and their parents sometimes. So our local symposium is the Tuesday after Memorial Day every year. It is going to be at 7 p.m. this year because there was a miscommunication with another teacher, and we ended up with a junior year field trip and this all at the same time. And so we're trying to make it work. Normally it's a little bit earlier in the day. Everybody's welcome. It's going to be in the PAC this year. We have a very exciting keynote speaker, Grace Howard, one of our very own, has been continuing to do research throughout her entire undergraduate and graduate career. So she's coming back to share what she's been learning. And we have 3 student speakers, which is going to be our current senior, Ali Conway, and then a junior and a sophomore. So they'll each showcase a little bit about what each year of the program is like. And there'll be posters where all my students will present their work and light refreshments. So please think about coming the Tuesday after Memorial Day. And finally, I was hoping Ali Conway would be here. She wanted to be, but her sister is in an important game all the way up in Waterville, so her mom said no. So this is Ali's poster. You may remember that she did research work on art with teachers. Her subjects were the teachers here at Taconic Hills. And it was really exciting. She had about, it's in here somewhere, she had about 13 to 14 participants who took time out of their day, once a week, 2 or 3 times a week, to just stop and do some coloring in of mandalas. Whoops, nope. Nope. Wrong way. Why is it the other way? Okay, there's go. So these are the mandalas. So she gave them a whole collection of mandalas and some coloring. Do a pre-stress survey, color for a while. Do a post-stress survey, color for a while. I couldn't participate because I knew what the whole program was, but I tried it one time. And I sat down, now like I knew all her work, and I sat down like, this isn't gonna work. And I colored, and then I filled out the post, and then I looked at my results, and they were different. And that's what she found, is that in general, everybody's stress decreased. She had a total of 107 expressive art sessions between all of her participants. 87% had a decrease, 11 had no change, and only 2% had an increase in stress. And all of them averaged a 20% decrease in stress. So if you're feeling a little stressed, take a little time to color. And the neatest thing, where is it? This one right here? This, she compared it to the amount of time people spent and their stress reduction. And you'll notice it's flat for the most part. In general, how much time you spent didn't matter. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes. It was just the stopping and the doing it that helped. And the other neat thing she found out, you can't really see it here, is that, see these lines are all sort of the same, and over here they're kind of skewed. The people who had the most stress brought their stress down to the same level as the people who were less stressed after the end. And that was pretty consistent in their different categories. Every group that was more stressed than the other group, at the end, they had the same level of stress as their counterparts. So it really works to help. So that's also a little PSA announcement from the Science Research Department. If you're feeling stressed, art does actually help. So thank you for listening to me. I really wanted to share just how proud I am of our program and the fact that we are hosting the sub-regional, and invite you all every Tuesday after Memorial Day. Normally it'll be around 6. You are always welcome. And I hope to see you there this time around. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
It's
much.
a great program.
And yeah, no, I'm really proud of it.
Congratulations on that. My daughter did this program, and I just want to say she always felt like it helped her speaking in public. It helped her learn how to read a research paper. Plus, you get a mentor who's already a college professor, so then you have this relationship to an elder who's, you know, and it just gave her so much confidence. So it's a really, really amazing program. And coming to see these things and what the students have done, because they find something they're passionate about, they're going to study it for 3 years like this. It's really cool. So thank you for what you do. I just have to say, like, a shout out that it's a really great program.
Thank you. I just sent out invitation to all of my prior students. It's a little late notice, but one of the things I put in there, and one thing just to put out to everybody, next year is our 10th full year of research since we restarted it. And it'll be my 10th year here. So I want to sort of have a homecoming and see if we can get as many alumni back as possible. So if you are talking,
Sure, yeah.
pass the word out to the other students.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have pre-K field trip to Hancock Shaker Village.
The down button.
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, I'm Beth Link,
Alex Paula, Karen Kennedy.
and we're the pre-K team. We were fortunate enough to go to Shaker Hancock Village on April 19th and 24th.
Oh,
You're the
yeah,
first one there.
yeah. So you guys had voted on this like a month ago. So the farm unit is a very big unit in pre-K. They've been doing it for a very long time. This is my second year. So these are just some of the things that the kiddos made. So one of our standards is learning the names of baby animals. So they learn like piglets and ducklings and all of those. So all of the projects that you see are a little different because we each do them a little differently, but the kids learn how to trace, they learn how to cut, they learn how to glue. So this is like a really big deal for them. So our whole hallway was a big farm scene for about 2 to 3 weeks.
I loved it. It was so
Yeah.
good. It was awesome.
So they had chicks in our classroom with an incubator for 3 weeks. They got to like watch the process. So this is just like, we just want to show you what we're doing in our rooms.
And not only are they interested in the farm baby, now every day if they come across an animal, they ask me, well, what's that baby animal called? So we're like, hold on, let me Google.
In collaboration with Ryan Proper and our PTO, each of our classes were able to design t-shirts. Ryan came into each of our rooms with iPads where the kids drew their own self-portraits. And then Ryan worked his magic and sent a file off to the Chatham Clothing Company where the shirts were printed. And thankfully, and the generous PTO paid for the shirts for us, for them to have as a keepsake at the end of the year. We did wear them on our field trip to help designate. We'll also use them for our field days, and then the kids will get to take them home at the end of the year, so.
Some of those are very detailed.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, wow.
And so
Aw.
to wrap it up, we get to go to the field trip up to Hancock Shaker Village. So we just included some of the pictures of the kids in the pens, getting to pet them. And then there's a little building where they can sweep, and there's little toys for them to play with and coloring to do. And then this is them just all eating lunch together, which was very exciting because they're in a new environment, eating lunch, and some more over there, and milking the cow, which was a huge deal. And just some more pictures of us on our field trip. It was a really great day. The kids were great. Our chaperones were great. This is my 4th year going. And it's just like one of those things that even as a teacher, I look forward to. So I appreciate, your support, letting us go, and everybody who had a part in between the t-shirts and everything like that. And as Alex said, we did hatch eggs. So we'd kind of like to give a shout out to Melissa Lehman, who got us those eggs. And we were able to use the incubators that the school has provided a few years ago for us. And we were actually able to watch a chick hatch. Like, it was like perfect timing. We were at snack, and the kids, I noticed that it was starting to do the zipper that they do, and all the kids are eating their snack in front of it. It was a really great experience and perfect
That's
timing,
so
thank goodness. So we just wanted to come and just say thank you to everybody who supported us this year and let us do the great things that we are able to do. I think that's the last thing. Oh, sorry, there's one more.
I think there's one more.
Oh, there's even
Yeah,
one
just
more?
a picture of it.
Sorry. Oh, that's all of them.
Showing off
So
the
it does-
t-shirts.
Yeah. But we can't do it, I mean, there's so many people like Ryan and the PTO and Melissa and everybody, so we're really grateful for
Very
what we're
nice.
able to do.
So thank you. That's
Thank
great.
you.
There we bring a smile to your face. Jen, you're up.
Okay, go. Don't be afraid of the amount of slides, it's gonna be, it'll be brevity. Oh, sorry. Down, and then a laser. Down. So good evening, everyone. My name is Jennifer Iraga. I'm the director of PPS here at Taconic Hills. And this is the year in review and the beginning for me. So I was appointed on October 26th. My first day was Halloween. My to-do list was large. I implemented my entry plan. I was assessing the department's needs, building trust and capacity and relationships. I conducted one-on-one listening tour, disseminated the information from the staff. We tried to establish protocols within the department, as well as weekly meetings with what I refer to as the back of the house PPS department. That would be Melissa Lehman and Amy McIntyre, while creating a welcoming space, as well as concise agendas and other resources. So there's the month in review. Some of the caveats when I initially began as the interim were I would be either working 2 to 5 days a week, depending upon availability. Melissa Lehman and Amy McIntyre pivoted and rescheduled 30 plus meetings, and Barb Plowton and Paula Knoll served as the CSD chair on November 1st. So what does PPS do, the People Personnel Service Department? We oversee the special education department, the nursing staff, DEI, McKinney-Vento, which is, I'm the liaison for students that are considered homeless, as well as overview of foster students and throw in some staff observations as well. In constant communication with all of our key players, superintendent, assistant building principals, IT, transportation, building and grounds. So one of the first steps for me was I had my entry plan, which had specific goals to end up with a solid year, as well as the information garnered from the listening tour. I had interviewed, over 30 of the special education teachers, SLPs, nurses, school psychologists, counselors, teaching assistants, aides, as well as the secretarial staff in the office, asked them the same 8 or 9 questions and kind of just went through and looked for common themes and used that information to inform how we were going to move forward. As a result of that, I developed a SMART goal, another acronym in the education world. So I used that to come up with this great SMART goal of collecting the data and analyzing it and looking at what the CSEs were like, IEPs, continuum of services, the needs, and to develop a protocol-driven, clearly defined procedures in our department. They were specific in examining current practices. We identified areas of weakness. We had monthly department meetings, weekly back of house department meetings, so that we all had the same information in the event that someone was out. Collaborated with the content coordinators, building administration, and the assistant superintendent of curriculum. And again, weekly meetings with the superintendent. It was measurable in the way we had efficiency and preparedness at our CSEs. We had analysis of testings, reports, and meeting notes to make sure that these were being done with fidelity and were consistent. We are continually assessing staff needs and developing a cohesive continuum of services K through 12, and making sure that we have legal and effective IEPs. Is it a table? Yes, we have an excellent team in the office, the building, district administration, classroom teachers, and we are developing improved communication conduits, and we are already seeing results. And it's relevant. There have been 4 directors in the last, I think, 5 years. There's been change in administration, there's been high teacher turnover, and some miscommunication with resulting in improper services and placement. And we're timely. I think we have achieved this result. In addition, while I was kind of looking at those items, I was thinking about the environment that students and staff and parents were walking in. And if you haven't had the opportunity to come down to the PPS office, I highly encourage it. It looks beautiful, I think. It's warm and inviting. The aesthetic in your place of work, where you spend a good amount of your time, really impacts the way you function. So what we did was a little paint. We took some fluorescent lights out so that it wasn't like a little hostage situation or an interrogation. We hung some motivating pictures. I put my little twinkle lights on to create a little zen. We have some books there for parents that bring other children in, and a seating area, as well as some coloring, which we know from our own student that works. We have some brochures from the community with different kinds of programs that are being accessed. What we also started to do was we have these folders here, Titan Orange, and in it are copies of the testing results for parents to take with them. So often when you come to a CSE meeting, it's nerve-wracking. You are talking about your child and their needs and their deficits. And it's hard and it's uncomfortable and it's stressful. And that we have acronyms of the specific testing that the children are assessed on, as well as a copy of their results so that they can go back and look at it, as well as a business card with my contact information should they have any additional questions. This is an example of while we're waiting for a meeting, and if you, I'm not going to press that. Which one?
The red.
Okay, so this is what parents walk into. There's a picture of their child with their name stating what it is, whether it's an annual review, a new referral, a reevaluation. There is a specific agenda of the time, just to be respectful of other people's time, because we do have a bit of a large population. And Melissa Lehman has taken it upon herself to add different kinds of watermarks. So right there is the TH, and sometimes we get pictures of the building and so forth. So we do that for each child. And then there's a picture of the table that has a variety of resources that we often refer to with bell curves and so forth. So as we're explaining the results, we have a visual for parents to look at. We started getting name tags, dry erase name tags. So when you walk in and somebody says, hi, my name is, and then, they're overwhelmed and they don't remember the first person's name, we have that there so that parents can see who they are as well as their role. We have fidgets, candy, community brochures, and other resources, and they are there. And I think I have spent more money in candy in all of my life. And there are a few people that are heavy hitters. I do have actually a package waiting at home from Amazon. We are also displaying students' artwork. This work right here is of a student that is an out-of-district placement. I've consulted with Alyssa Kipnis because there are some really creative pieces, and it is not my bag to know how to hang them properly. This was an easel, so it was easier for me. So we are going to continue to do that so they see themselves. So we are continuing to build relationships within Taconic Hills, as well as out-of-district placements such as Questar, as well as Hawthorne Valley, which is a private school within their school district. As a result of the work and the relationship building we have done, myself, Veronica Burley, a speech language pathologist, Linda Mitchison, went and met with our Hawthorne Valley colleagues, and we just kind of went over what the CSE process looks like, as well as the nuts and bolts of the process, so that they had more of an education that they could share with their parents who think, okay, well, my child needs services and what it really looks like. I had sent out a survey to our providers asking them, how long it takes them to conduct the evaluations. And so we disseminated that information, and basically, if a student is being referred to for the CSE process, they are looking at over 10 hours of assessments and evaluations, and it requires over 18 hours of staff for one student. So it's important to have that background knowledge when you're saying, yes, I want my child referred. So PPS by the numbers. We currently have 152 students altogether. That's 122 in-house, 55 are at the elementary, 67 are at the secondary schools, and it's in a good spot of 14% of our students with disabilities overall. That's where you kind of want to be, 13 to 15%. We had 48 CSE referrals this year, 31 resulting in IEPs, and we had an additional, what we call 16 transfer intakes. That means 16 students came into our district from another district that had an IEP. And then CPSD, that's our preschool friends. We have 24 students in total. 10 students are in our current pre-K. 14 are remaining in Head Start, county placements, or at home. Our out-of-district placements, we have 30 in all, and they vary from Abilities First, as you can see, Tech Valley, Cardinal Hayes. 5 of the students are attending Hawthorne Valley. And our 504 students, we have 94 students altogether. 1 is placed in out-of-district placement, and 4 students attending Hawthorne Valley. This is a report every year. We are data mined by the state. We keep track of this information, and this is what we call, from the PD system, as a verification report number 3 from 2023, the school age students by disability. So you have your 13 classifications, and here are our numbers from the 2023 school year. And the relevance of this is we look for trends. We look to see if we have an uptick in students with emotional disabilities. Are we providing the appropriate services? Do we have the resources? It informs our PD. It informs the things that we find, and we'll continue to analyze that and determine how we will pivot and meet the needs of these students.
Sorry, Jen, is that a number for each of kids, like 10 kids in
Correct.
the school, pre-K through 12?
Correct, yes. So you may have seen something like this before. This is what we call the continuum of special education, the bottom being the least restrictive, and then moving up to the most restrictive. And our continuum of services for this year, we spanned the globe. And we at the start of this year, a middle school self-contained was dissolved. Self-contained means that there are 12 students, 1 teacher, 1 aide. That was dissolved, and the students went into a consultant teacher model. So they went from here to here, and it was a bit of a rough transition. And it resulted in a lot of what we call program reviews, where we were meeting because it was just too big of a jump for these students. And we were short-staffed 2 special education teachers this year, which resulted in 7 variances to be in compliance. So similar to if you have your home and you want to put up a fence and it's bordering neighbor's property, you have to go to the town, you need to get a variance, and they have to say yes. We have to do that with every student that is in a placement that is out of compliance. So for example, if you were a student in a resource room, it's maximum 5 students. We have several high school resource rooms that are out of compliance because we don't have the staff. And so for every class that is out of compliance, I have to write up a rationale as to why it is the way it is, and to address that, to make sure that we're, 1, not breaking the law and we're just following the regulations. And we worked on just developing IEP consistent language throughout. Some of those for next year. We have a 4 through 6 self-contained, which we are possibly cross-contract, which means that we have some openings and we have some seats, and if there are students that need to profile the makeup of that class, we can have them join us. And that is the case for this year for the 7 through 9. So the 7 through 9 self-contained classroom is a direct result of this year's self-contained not being present and implemented. And we have a cross-contract already with Germantown. MTSS, I would like to work with building admin and the MTSS staff to integrate us into the process, because it definitely, what we're seeing with that verification report informs their practices as well. Going to continue to streamline the processes of the continuum of services, our invites of staff, making sure that we're here, we're using the same calendar system, we're cross-referencing school calendars, because sometimes there's a learning curve of when testing is, or there's a special event and so forth. So we're implementing those things, studying the classification rates, and then a big one is the aid justification process. I was finding that as we were going through CSE meetings, staff was coming in and requesting an aid, and from a fiscal standpoint, it's a financial impact. It's a $50,000 add-on when you look at salary and benefits, and all for helping students and where they need to be, but we need to have the data to support that child is in need of that aid. So we're going to streamline that and ensure that we are using the support services before requesting that. And we're going to be doing something that we did a trial of, which is called student-involved IEPs. This was a highlight for me this year. It was done with Pat McDonald and Barb Plowton. They were selected, as well as Jessica Holstein. They were selected to try this out. They worked with a handful of their students, and what the student ended up doing was a presentation at their CSE talking about what works for them, how they learn, what their goals were, and it was awesome. It was great to hear the student's voice, and Barb put a request in. We have July 15th set aside to do that, and we are planning on opening up our CSEs to the bare minimum 7th and 8th grade students as well, because I was finding that it starts at 9th grade, and kind of a rule of thumb, but your middle school students have a lot to say, and they need to have the awareness and self-advocacy skills to know what that document is and what it means and how they can help themselves. So they will be part of that process. So increasing student participation. Nursing, we have one RN that is district oversight, and she oversees one LPN at the elementary school and then one at the secondary school. She's great. It's been her first year. She's jumped in. She's super professional, and she splits time between the 2 schools to ensure that there's communication, and that the same processes are occurring at both schools. We have met in conjunction with Karen Regina, the data coordinator, to streamline the enrollment processes with the nursing staff to make sure that we are following immunizations and the physicals, as well as providing them with resources to network on their listserv and attend conferences to continue their education. And we worked on defining their specific job description. I established monthly meetings with them. We have a Google folder where we put information in, and so we all have a place to go. And we have updated and purchased new hearing and vision equipment because we had stuff that was from the dark ages. So we had a good test run this year, and they were prepared. So our goals there for next year is to have smoother registration procedures, refining the screening process, physicals and immunization protocols, and to collaborate with the Health and Wellness Committee to determine protocols for radio usage. When we debriefed on a monthly basis, we found that when a call is made, I need a nurse, we need more specifics, whether we're using like a code, whatever, so that everybody that is on a radio knows who needs to attend rather than the banter back and forth. So that is a goal for next year. DEI, I know I've mentioned to you before that I've participated in a NYSED Network Leaders statewide resource webinar. Happens on a monthly basis. Another one is the task force look that's offering from Questar. The admin has had opportunities with student speakers, Grand Chandler. We have a Google folder that we're establishing for DEI, and I know that we'll be working on it in our strategic planning for the summer. And then doing an analysis of DASA. We had policy adoption with the Board of Ed, and future goal establishing, supporting the regulations. So the goal here is continuing the participation in those task forces. I believe we have an agreement with Grand Chandler. I participated, or I was a guest at a Questar DEI Summit. If they are offering it again, I've been in contact with them so that our students can participate in. And again, developing the strategic plan and having DEI part of it. McKinney-Vento. So these are just some definitions for you, and light reading on your own, but these are some of the things that we come into play with being McKinney-Vento. It is funded in part by Title I funds, so I work with Sandra, who is more in line with the title grants, and then I'm in close contact with the business office with STACK, which is where programming and where students fall into the mix. For McKinney-Vento, as you can see, we had 36 students identified as McKinney-Vento in the 22-23 year. This year, we're 23. And then we have some money left over. I think it's about $1,000 that we have to use by September. And it's a little bit different than the Title I funding in that we have a bit more freedom, and we can actually use it for things like prom tickets and things of that nature. Whereas the Title I's very specific. So my goals with that is next week I'm attending a seminar at Columbia Green, Housing Coalition, developing a relationship with them. They have a handful of folks from different districts coming to talk about housing, what our needs are, and how they can help. So continue to foster that relationship. I'm going to refine our McKinney-Vento resources through a website called New York Teaches. They provide kind of templates, and then you can input specific data as it relates to your community. And I would like to take that information and put it on a dedicated web page on our district website, so it's easily accessed for families. It's a tough phone call to make. It's a tough conversation to have. And so being able to provide them with that information so that they can review at their discretion is a goal. And then foster care. I just put some definitions in here because foster care is a a tangled web. It has to do with where you live, where you were when you became a person that's in foster care, et cetera. And the next slide kind of shows like who's in charge of making decisions for a student. And so one of the things that I've been participating in is what they call a bid process, and it's another acronym, best interest determination. And so I've been on phone calls with other people in my role, as well as attorneys, as well as county officials, DSS, et cetera, essentially determining the well-being of a child through this process. For the 2023, we had 7 students, and this year we have 5. Questions? Comments?
Very good presentation.
Thank you.
That was a lot of information, so I appreciate that.
And so my hope and thought is to take the information and then just build on it each year so we can see where we are, where we need to grow, where we need to improve, and the resources that we need.
Good job, Jen.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, let's hear that light. Okay, superintendent report.
All right, well, I am really excited to announce that even though we couldn't all go, the boys won the varsity baseball section 2 finals 9-0.
Yay!
Maybe they'll arrive back and we'll time it well with the end of the,
That's what I was thinking.
Meeting,
They're
we
all
can
gonna be
read
on
them.
the bus, or are they gonna ride over there?
We're looking at about 8:45. I've been talking to the bus.
Are they all on the bus?
Most of them are coming on the bus because
Awesome.
they're looking for a welcoming committee to greet them.
That's what I was hoping. 8:45.
They're about
I'm
8:45.
sure you
I'll know for certain soon.
That's awesome.
we, last night during the budget vote, there was a learning fair and the Titan Voyager was on display. It was very positively received. We had lots of families and children going on it, being excited. Our intent for this summer is to have the Titan Voyager move with some of our teachers each week to the summer camps in the community so that we can combine those enrichment opportunities with what we can offer as a school using the Titan Voyager. So we're excited about that. I do want to shout out to Beth Flores and her team that puts together that learning fair each year. It was great. We had lots of volunteers. The PTO did a wonderful job as well. And we did have one of our board members there helping with one of the centers. And I made this for you, Ron. I passed it down. It was do that. And it was really fun.
You did a good one last night, didn't you? No, I didn't have
That's
time.
calming too. Right.
I wasn't pretty busy.
He was really busy.
The budget and all the propositions passed, which is really exciting. We had 315 voters in a district where there are 9,035 registered voters. This is a 3.5% turnout. It does tend to be like that in many districts, but we are thankful for all of those who did come out to vote, and we will continue to brainstorm ways to reach more voters in the upcoming years. Congratulations to Joe Costa on his reelection, and to Janine Earnhardt, whose term will begin on July 1st. I did get a chance to leave a message with her last night and then talk to her this afternoon. She's really excited to be joining us and serving in this capacity, which is wonderful. I was going to mention the Science Symposium. Linda Hopkins has already done that for us, Tuesday, 7 p.m. in the PAC. Dollars for Scholars ceremony was May 11th. We have 37 graduating seniors receive scholarships, which is so exciting. I know that Dr. Iraka mentioned our strategic planning, which will take place this summer. We have sent a Google form out with dates because we do want to have faculty and staff involved. We have had 6 responses so far. And we've also set dates for an administrative retreat this summer for the my cabinet team. And we will be emphasizing instructional goals and consistency in our practices across the district as we prepare for the 24-25 school year. I do want to thank and congratulate Lori Runyon on her almost 16 years of service in the cafeteria. We thank her for that. And we have also been interviewing and hiring faculty for the upcoming school year. You'll see there are already 4 appointments being approved, one of which is a new technology teacher that we are ecstatic to welcome to the Titan family. So we're moving forward with that as well. Lots of great things continue to go on and happen here in our district. And the last thing, which I think we're moving to very shortly, is that we have 4 professionals that we will be receiving tenure tonight, and we're really excited about that. So, thank you.
Thank you. Student liaison report. Hi, Terry, what you got for us?
As Mr. Brunger said, we just won the championship. First time
So
in a
awesome.
while,
30
so
years.
30 years. Wow. Yeah, it's been a long time, so definitely good to have that going on in the community for everybody. Next up is the senior trip. It's coming up. We're going to Boston, so pretty
Good town.
excited for that. Yeah, it's gonna be great. June 4th and 5th. Yeah.
Is there anything that you're specifically excited to see in Boston?
Roger, and there's this awesome like historical boat there, just on the water.
Okay,
So
nice.
I don't know. Yeah, other than that,
I can't wait to
some
hear about it.
surprises. Yeah, for sure. Totally. Next, the Tea Hills Island Juniors. Actually, Ellis Island. Psych. Yep. So the juniors are going to Ellis Island.
Oh, okay.
Their field trip with Miss Court for history. I went there last year. Pretty fun.
You liked it, right?
Yeah, totally. It was awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah. And the prom is coming up next week. It's gonna be on a boat, 3 stories tall. So that's
Really?
Yeah. No,
That's
seriously,
nice.
that's gonna be an experience
I like
for
that.
sure. Definitely looking forward to that. The art fair happened this week. Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah.
Monday.
Monday or Tuesday? Okay, Monday. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Saw Lewinsky Photography and some other vendors. One lady had like a harp. That was pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah. AP testing is done, so definitely good for those kids. I think that was pretty rigorous. It's probably good for them to have it out of the way. And the first Regents exam is June 4th. Coming up. Yeah.
wow.
I know, right? Yeah. This year really flew by. The spring concert with Miss Miller, that was flawless, I thought. She always brings it home for the team, and she's really good. Really great addition. We're going to sectionals, and definitely got a pretty good shot of bringing it home.
Where are
so
sectionals this
fingers
year?
crossed. It's
What's-
at Kitsaki.
Kasaki's hosting?
Yeah,
Nice.
Friday. Yeah, this Friday. So
This Friday?
yeah, anybody who wants to come,
What
do
time
it.
is
It's
that?
at 4 on Friday. Yeah, for sure. Fingers crossed. And there is a production being made of something mysterious that will be revealed to all the student body before the end of this year. And it's coming along pretty phenomenal. There's a fire drill this past month, I'm pretty sure, and that was pretty great. Nice to get out of the building for a little bit, breathe some fresh air.
It was a beautiful day.
Yeah, it really was. Good job, good job. And this happened past month, but Miss VT took the athletic performance class to a rock climbing center in Albany.
Oh, I heard
and
about that.
Pretty sure it was in Albany, but it was pretty wild. It was like these man-made caves inside, and they're all like wooden. It was like completely pitch dark, so definitely glad we all made it out alive, but no scares. We were good. Great trip. That's all I got for everybody. So,
Well, that was a
thanks,
very
Justin.
good report, Kurt. Thank you very much.
And don't worry your Yankee hat and Boston, they still haven't gotten over it.
Right, thank you. I'll be sure to answer.
Don't wear your Yankee hat in here, right?
Yeah.
went through Jan.
Oh,
He said yes. I said, you can't sit here anymore. She actually-
I'm okay, you can stay.
Okay.
Next up, we have the Board of Education member activity reports. I'll start with Rick. I think I started with Kevin last month, so I'll start with you.
Well, first I want to say thank you for the large print agenda. Much appreciated. I'm even happier that I see that everybody has it and didn't single me out. So, thank you.
Yes, I like it too.
The daycare initiative that we're working on, we are in the looking for grant funding stage right now, so we're going to get started on that shortly. Thank you to Alexis and Lynette and Doug Kelly for putting together the grant proposal. So we're going to move forward with that. The housing initiative that the legislative committee has been looking at is kind of in a fact-finding mode. That's a little bit of a longer-term idea and something that we need to get more facts on. And we're lucky that Lynette and I had a Zoom meeting with Emma Cohen from Senator Hinchy's office this week. She's given us some contacts to talk to both a state official and a developer from Ulster County, I believe, Ulster and Dutchess County, who can tell us what can be done and what can't be done. So,
Oh, that's nice.
so hopefully,
Her office has been very,
very helpful.
Yeah.
Very helpful. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Margaret?
I've been to about 1 million track meets, including Althea Fridays. It's going really well. The team is phenomenal, great spirit, and everybody just supports each other, which is really nice. I caught the music, the high school music presentation, the chorus, they are so good. And also, is his name TJ Eldridge? Russell? TJ Russell, the jazz, they are so good. It's all so good. I was really excited. Actually, a lot of the track team are in the choir, which is cool. So it's like all these people I knew. The music is so great. There was also a beautiful art show up front, and I just have to say the art right now is really great. And my kids didn't do music here, so this was my first time attending a music event. So when I left, I kept saying to everybody, "Oh my God, the music was amazing." And they're like, "Yeah, it always is." They're just like so used to it being phenomenal. I was like, "It's really good." And they said, "But the art, did you see the art?" So I think that has like gone up, maybe with thanks to Mrs. Ham or Miss Ham. And I didn't write down my things this time, so that's all I remember.
I didn't either, I only remember what I did a couple
I was
days
trying
ago.
to, I did not, but anyway, it's been an exciting time, so.
Well, as you see, I did my undergraduate, my master's in late act, right at the end of that hour, because that was one of the hardest hours I ever worked in my life. I'd rather have been a coal miner with a canary coffin. You know, it was great. The kids were having so much fun. I was amazed. I appreciate even getting the invite to do it. So, I appreciate it. I'll keep this in a place of honor at home, and
Yeah, that's some memories right there.
that's right
There you go.
forever. So, thank you.
Thank you. Joe?
I came down for Teachers Appreciation Day, and I was outside with little pom-poms and stuff.
That's a good reminder.
I really was glad to come down to appreciate all the teachers and stuff for everything they do. And when I came to vote on the budget, there was a bake sale outside.
That was really a great idea, yeah.
This
Yeah.
cake caught my eye. And it was a blueberry vanilla cake.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh my God. Students were having a fundraiser or whatever.
That was
I don't even know what it was for. I just bought
Oh,
it.
yeah, it was a National Honor Society.
I just
That was
bought
really a
it.
great
It was
idea.
Yeah, I
really
thought
good
so
cake.
too.
Okay. Hey,
I have not been here in quite some time, but I have to say I would like to thank Alicia for everything that she's done, because usually I'm her sidekick, and usually we come here and spend a lot of time doing our thank yous and trying to hand out things in appreciation.
Alicia's done a
Sad
lot this
she has done a
Alicia
lot,
has
and
done a
I've
lot this year.
been sad that I haven't been
Been
here
our-
for her to do that.
She's been our spokesperson.
Mhm.
We go back and forth with our little ideas, and it's fun, so, yeah.
So I made it to a few softball games. The JV team did really well, and a couple varsity boys baseball games. And also was here to greet the teachers on Appreciation Week, which was very nice. Made some homemade pom-poms. And the three of us went to the learning fair. And Bonnie and I helped Mrs. Kipnis with the Pop-Tarts while Ron was busy making rain sticks.
And the projects were amazing, that these kids, and these are not required projects. They just do this because they want to. And I'm telling you, some of those projects were just, there was a dollhouse that had electricity, like, it was, I mean, it was absolutely, Titanic. I mean, it was really, those projects were amazing, really great.
So that's pretty much it for me. I did actually go to a middle school chorus concert as well. That was really good.
I went to the trap shooting team and took photos. I usually try to, I used to take photos when I was with the Booster Club years ago, but I still try to take sports photos, and I usually get one team per season, and the trap team was the team this year. So that was a lot of fun. I think there were almost, I think I did 5 sets of 5, so there are 25 kids that I got to witness, and they're really good. I mean, well, I couldn't do anything like that, but they were really good.
We're like the best in the state.
They are, what I like is that even just the way that they handle the gun safety, it's just like, and you know, like there was one kid that, I don't know, his gun didn't shoot, and you know, he kind of froze, and Dave was like, you know, make sure you put the gun down, and you know, so it's just a lot of safety. It's just, I really like that. But anyway, I took pictures there. I went to the learning fair. I just talked about the projects. What else was I at the learning fair? Oh, and me and Alicia were sneaking around, putting thank you gifts around for different people all month, pretty much, because it was a busy month, right? Yeah, it was a busy month. So if you found anything on your desk when you came in the morning, it was a little Santa elves over here. But yeah, that's what I did. I can't remember anything else.
Nothing else?
Okay.
Nothing. I was able to catch one of the boys' baseball games, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time we've ever won a Class B sectional title. When we won it 30 years ago, we were Class C. So kudos to those guys.
Yeah.
All conference lists came out today. We had multiple kids on the list, so excellent job to them. This year, I was on the budget committee with some of you, and I just wanted to publicly say thank you to the business office and the administrators. It was a very challenging year this year with everything going on with the state hold harmless, and we didn't know what funding we were going to receive or when we were going to get it. I thought it came together really well for our first attempt. So I just wanted to say thank you, and the vote totals proved that the community supported what we were doing. So thank you.
You also mentioned to me that Zach Rao was, what was he named?
Richmond Conference Player of the Year.
That's awesome. That's
And I'm
really
sure
good.
we're gonna have in track, I'm sure we'll have the same honor.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. All right, next up, we have the granting of the tenure employees.
It can all be one motion.
Just one motion?
Yeah.
Okay, need a motion for the granting of the tenure. Margaret, second. Rick? Yeah. All in favor? Okay, thank you.
We're just gonna do a wall.
Yeah.
Recognition for them all.
Yep. So first, I think I would ask Dr. Iraka to come up. And she's here on behalf of Conceal for Dog.
So good evening. I have the opportunity to share some beautiful words that Mrs. Cardello has about Brianna Beebe. Throughout her tenure at our school, she has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to her students and colleagues, making her an invaluable asset to our educational community. Within the classroom, Brianna is always looking for ways to support her students academically. She provides clear instruction, multiple opportunities to learn the content, and differentiates to meet the needs of the learners in the room. Brianna Beebe has cultivated relationships with her students that are both welcoming and enduring. Many students continue to reach out to her for her guidance and support even after they have taken her course, a testament to the profound impact she has on their lives. Her ability to connect with students on a personal level fosters a supportive and nurturing learning environment, which is essential for their academic and personal growth. As a colleague, Brianna embodies the qualities of a true team player. She is welcoming, sensitive, caring, jovial, and fun, consistently contributing to a strong, teaming dynamic and positive educational programs. Her presence in the faculty not only enhances the collaborative spirit, but also enriches the overall educational experience for both staff and students. Brianna has proven herself to be a dedicated, compassionate, and effective educator. Her enduring relationships with students and her positive influence among colleagues make her an outstanding candidate for tenure. I have no doubt that she will continue to make significant contributions to our school community for many years to come. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry, this is one of the first times we're doing this, so we're back here having a little conversation. How do we exactly want to do this? Just, for our teachers that are getting this honor, just be ready. You are gonna have to come up here and receive a certificate and get a photo and have handshakes from our Board of Education, but I just wanted to give you a heads up that's coming. At this time, I'd like to
Where I get photos too.
ask Principal Backlund to come up. She has 3 educators to share about.
I'm so excited. Big year. The first person I'm going to speak about is Jen Berry. And Jen has been a tremendous addition to Taconic Hills. I've had the pleasure of working with her as the pre-K through 3 counselor for my building. She spends the time to welcome new families into the school by providing them tours and has taken the time to know each and every student. She collaborates with classroom teachers to provide whole class lessons on different social emotional learning topics. And whenever there's a child in need of assistance, she arrives with her kind, calm, and warm nature to support them. Let me just look at her. She just feels calm. I know she feels this way. It's not right now. She goes above and beyond to work with families, caseworkers, and staff to support our scholars and bridge the family and school connection. So with great pride, I'm recommending Jen Berry for tenure at Taconic Hill Central School District. The next person I'm going to speak about is Veronica Burley. Veronica has joined Taconic Hills as our school psychologist. She has extensive, and I mean extensive, knowledge and experience around psychoeducational assessments. And what's impressive about it is that she has the ability to break down these complex assessments to others by providing examples and analogies that are both relatable and concrete, by suggestions to parents and faculty in order to support and address students' individual needs. Mrs. Burley's positive energy and enthusiasm makes hearing difficult results in conversations easier during CSE and individual meetings. She's a valued member of our school community. I personally go to her when I need some advice. I highly recommend her for receiving tenure at Taconic Hills Central School District. And the last person I'm recommending is Suzanne Kukan, but Susie has had many different roles in Taconic Hills. She started out her career here as a reading intervention teacher, in which she received tenure several years ago. Since then, she switched into the classroom teacher role. Her knowledge around early literacy and the science of reading has benefited her in being able to reach all the diverse students in her classroom. This past year, she's been a general education teacher in an inclusive classroom. She's incredibly reflective, and whenever given feedback, she applies next steps immediately. This past year, she participated in the RPC co-teaching, coaching, and observations, and was identified as an exemplary model of co-teaching. I'm honored to recommend her for tenure, and once again, under the new license of general education classroom teacher.
I
can take pictures if you want.
Okay.
So if we could have Brianna Beebe. I can take pictures if you want.
Oh, I was trying to hide Alexis.
Oh, you got it, you got it. I thought you were asking me to take pictures.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Jennifer Gary.
Thank you.
Are you gonna be doing high school? Thank you. I started in high school and then they moved me to middle school. Oh, congratulations. Sorry, I just was wondering.
Yes. Don't sit down yet. We're
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you. Come back here.
Congratulations.
Come on. Yeah, I know.
Trying to hide behind Kevin.
Congratulations.
I hate my picture.
Congratulations.
Hold it like a tight straw. Jen and Laura, if you just come up for a photo as well.
You want to sign? Okay. It's upside down. Kidding.
Should we rate them on the best handshake?
Thank you, congratulations.
Yeah, we did.
You guys
Okay. I need a motion for the annual district budget vote and election results. Kevin, motion. Second is Alicia. Any questions? Any questions? I just want to say that was such a really poor turnout for people. That's out of 9,000
Probably one
people.
of the lowest ever.
That's pretty bad. Just saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, all in favor? I know.
It could have been bad weather.
Yeah,
there was a
it could've been.
terrible thunderstorm because in that window
That's
of
true.
time.
We're usually 3 to 5%. I looked up.
Okay.
Last
So we
year
can't
was
use
a
those.
high of 6.8. 6.8%. I think 620 voters last year.
That's normal, that's a more normal kind of number.
It was, yeah.
All right, next up, did I say all in favor? Yeah, I did that. Policies, so, the policy committee, I will say, this year, we really worked a lot on, we were trying to catch up on some of the, updates even from 2022, that's how far some of the updates that we had not done, so we really did a lot of work. I'm hoping June's meeting we're gonna probably pretty much try to tie, we'll be ready for September and any updates then. So we are voting on the second reading approval of the second half of those policies. So I need a motion on those policies, please. Margaret, second, Joe. Any questions on any of them? All in favor? Thank you. All right, so we got a couple of donations. We have box tops for education for the elementary school, and we have $200 from the Hudson Mohawk Roadrunners Club for the 4th through 6th running club. So can I have a motion for those two donations? Kevin, second. Rick, any questions? All in favor? Thank you. Okay, now, next up, I need a motion for the tax cert reserve account. I'm going to read the Taconic Hills Board of Education hereby closes the 2021, 2022, and 2022-2023 tax cert reserve accounts, returning the total balance of $25,931.57, including any applicable interest to the general fund in accordance with education law. The Taconic Hills Board of Education hereby creates the 2023-2024 tax cert reserve in the amount of $13,935.81 to be funded with the monies from 2023 to 2024 unallocated fund balance. Motion, please. Kevin, second. Joe? Any questions? All in favor? Okay. All right, next up, we have an agreement between the district and the Faculty Association and the Support Staff Association for the Lunar New Year on January 29th. Motion, please. Margaret, second. Kevin? Any questions? All in favor? Thanks. Agreement between the district and the support staff. The settlement between the district and the support staff. I need a motion, please. Heidi, second. Margaret? Any questions? All in favor? Thank you. All right, so this is our daycare resolution. I'm going to read it just for reading's sake. Whereas the Taconic Hill Central School District strives to be a center for community resources and wishes to continue as such, and whereas New York State cannot provide enough adequate daycare for its residents, and many areas of the state are considered to be daycare deserts, including the Taconic Hills District, and whereas Taconic Hills is desirous of attracting and retaining high-quality staff members and of providing continued resources to its community by fostering a program in the school building that will partially alleviate the lack of daycare facilities in the district, and whereas due to changing enrollment numbers, certain spaces within the Taconic Hills building are no longer needed for the educational program, and the district desires to allow access to such space to a licensed provider of daycare services, and whereas New York State allows school districts to provide daycare facilities within the school building, providing taxpayer monies are not spent to subsidize the cost of such program. It is therefore resolved that the Board of Education of Taconic Hill Central School designates rooms no longer needed for educational purposes and authorizes the superintendent or designee to seek out and obtain grants as necessary to perform renovations to those spaces to meet the regulations of New York State OFCS as a daycare facility. Resolved further, the Board of Education also authorizes the superintendent or designee to seek licensed daycares who are interested in leasing district facilities for the administration of a daycare program for which we can offer to students, staff, and residents. Motion. Kevin, second. Joe? Any questions? All in favor? Would you have a question?
I was just gonna say, I know Rick did a lot of work on this.
He did a lot of work.
That is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Oh, thank you. I didn't mind doing it. The resolution is designed so that I don't take all the blame.
Well, I just put it out in public.
Well, and Rick, one of the reasons why Rick really wanted this resolution is when we do go to these philanthropic groups, we do have this resolution in place so that, you know, they know what, you know, what we're trying to do. Next up, we have the parent-provided transportation. So I need a motion for that, please. Motion? Kevin, second. Ron, any questions? Favor. Thank you. Resolution to extend the probationary appointment of employee 715. Can I have a motion for that, please? Margaret, second. Heidi? Any questions? All in favor? Thanks. All right, so now we have the personnel agenda. I need a motion for the acceptance of the personnel agenda, which will be B through R as written or amended. I have Kevin, second. Heidi? And then we go through those before we, is there anything, let's see. Nikki Banier's gonna do the term. We're gonna have consumer sciences. Lori Runyon retiring. Wish her well. She's been here a while.
Bye, Karen.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, Karen.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody got any other questions on any of those? The second was Heidi.
I want to say thank you to Lisa Cardillo for her 2 years. I think it was 2 years.
Yes.
She will be missed, and I wish her luck. She's been awesome. Our kids are really gonna miss her.
100% agree.
And I'm sorry to see her go.
Me too.
And welcome to the new.
Yeah, welcome to the new appointments, a technology teacher, we have an agriculture teacher, and a family, well, Nikki's gonna be the family and consumer, right? So she- Yeah, that's awesome. And a appointment of food service worker.
She gives a few presentation.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
No, she did.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, she did good. All right, all in favor? All right. So that brings us to public forum 2. Do I have anything for 2? No. Additional items to discuss. We did receive a couple of thank yous. Lisa Reese, gave us thank you notes from faculty, like she said. So, thank you for that. We try to do what we can, And also Alexis thanked us for, giving up her items for the raffles. So thank you to all the board members. And that's all I have for additional items to discuss. Does anyone have anything else they want to?
I should have said this when Karen was here, I'm so sorry. I wanted to say that I did talk to, I'm gonna say Erica Shook and Lisa Cardillo about Curran wanting people to go outside. And I know it might be impossible, but Curran was really hoping for it for this year. And I thought of it when he said, the fire drill was great, we got to go outside. Mrs. Shook said she was thinking of it as a senior privilege, so we wouldn't need to be staffed. It's just a matter of going out one door and coming in the other. So I just want to put that out there. If it would be maybe turning off the alarm on that door, and she's willing to be in charge of people coming out, and then they have to come back in the front, so it's still a single point of entry, because it'll still be locked. The door will still be locked. Just want to put that out there, and I wish I said, I'll tell Karen later I said that. So I would have had more power, more punch in the moment. Sorry to go on.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, we don't have an executive session, because we took care of everything in the first executive session, so we are looking for a motion to adjourn. Joe, second. Margaret. All in favor? Because Kevin's always usually.
No, that's not true. Last week I said I did not.
Oh, that's right. You didn't want to. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for staying.
Thank you.